My motto is, if I make it, my whole family makes it. Do you get it?
But I think...
No, but also, on that, they've worked hard for themselves. Yeah.
No one's helped them. Yeah.
Do you understand? No one's helped them for them to be where they are.
Yeah.
They probably got knocked along the way.
Do you understand?
A lot of people.
So there are other people that are not working hard to become where the other
They're the
black
ones
person.
that talk.
Do you understand? They're the ones complaining. They're the ones doing all this talking or
how she
sitting
got
on
there and
benefits.
she forgot about
Do you understand?
us.
So
You didn't have me when I was asking for a
haven't
pound.
Yeah, but don't you see that in itself?
But you're sitting at home doing nothing. Yeah, that person that has worked hard is doing talks on how they've been a black person. Because you can't tell me that a black person is going to become somewhere in life and not show people that this is what I've had to do. This is where I've had to work hard for me to be able to be where I am, and show everyone this. And another black person is just saying, "Oh, okay, I'm just sitting here doing nothing."
And this is why
charity
starts from home, to be able to train and encourage young
Wait, in the Asian community, okay, Uncle Punjab, whatever, says, I want to, Uncle, whatever, I want to open a shop. The whole family will come together. Here's £100, £100, and they'll stick together. Yeah. When Angel's got her own eyelash company, do you see how, she's promoted to cousins, everyone. Nobody wants to buy eyelashes, but they all wear eyelashes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, exactly. So then that, again, just feels... it just fuels the fact that where is the community?
So yeah, we do it to ourselves. Like, I'll support her business. Do you get what I mean? And I'll support all my friends' business around me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's my mentality because my mum's raised me like that. But other people, when you get to the top, she forgot about us. It's like, yeah, of course I did. Nobody wanted to put a pound in my pocket when I was struggling.
No one helped me.
Struggling to buy my stock and everything else.
But then can I ask you a question about that then? Because then, okay, you say that, but when somebody could also say as well that, okay, you got to this position, but your argument is because that you didn't really have anyone there to support you or help you push you along, so that's your argument for not helping other people.
No, I'm not complaining that no one
I'm
was
not saying
there
I'm not helping,
to
I wouldn't
help
help other
me.
people.
I'm just showing everyone.
For those that want to be quick to talk about me and say, oh, you got to the top and forgot about me.
This is how I've gone, this is what I've gone through. This is how I've been able to get where I am. Yeah, I've had to work hard for me to be where I am right now. Yeah. So all the people that are sitting on there at home complaining, oh, this, I can't do nothing, and sitting on benefits, they put themselves in that position. I have shown you that this is what I've had to do for me to be able to be where I am. You can do that. You can do the exact same thing I have done, because I've shown you that this is what I've done. But no, you're just gonna sit at home. But that's your own fault.
Yeah, and if someone came to me and was like, oh, can you teach me what you did? It's not like I won't not teach you. Oh,
you understand?
Do you get it?
That's okay. I see where you're coming from now.
That's self-inflicted.
That's so true, because you even when it's like when we say we live in our stereotypes and we complain about things, but there are people out there who they're doing that work, they never complained, and it's kind of like, how do we get people to adopt that trait? Like, just do it, like keep going, let it go, make sacrifices. We have to do 100% the mindset.
Yeah.
How can we encourage one another, our community, to have that mindset?
Like you always tell me, you can take a horse to a river, but you can't force the horse to drink.
Look, I think people need to be realistic with themselves. Realistic in your environment, how, what situations you're actually in. Yeah? Understand that first of all. And then look to see where is it that you want to be. And we need to be realistic with our future goals. Yeah?
What do you mean realistic? What if I want to become a billionaire? Is that not realistic enough?
You want to become a billionaire? Okay, cool. You've got the example. You want to become a billionaire. How are you going to get there? What's your steps?
I'm saying hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah, what's your steps?
Listen.
But hypothetically, what is your steps?
There's many steps, but I'm speaking hypothetically. You're saying set realistic goals.
Yeah.
What if my realistic goal is to become a billionaire?
But that's the thing.
So who are you to not me to not have a bigger goal?
But this
my
what
mum
I'm
always
saying.
says the sky's your limit.
Exactly. That's fine. The sky can be the limit. That's fine. As your end goal, but how are you going to get there? We need to have realistic goals that we know can be stepping stones in order to get there. And this is what I'm saying. I find that I've had conversations with a lot of people around my age, a couple of years younger, and even people who are older than me. And we've been having discussions about what's your end goal. Some of them may have businesses, and like, alright, cool. Like, what's your end goal for the business? And we're like, they want this and this and this, but they're not really established enough to get there. And it's like, okay, cool. Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that? Have you thought about doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these things, they haven't thought about these. And it's like, guys, come on. It's good enough to have an idea and an end goal as to where you want to get to, but let's make it actually come.
Yeah, that's why you put it into a plan, you plan it. You're not just going to say, I want to open a business.
But
you have to figure out how you're going to get the funding from, what's your concept, what target you're reaching out to, all of that. Of course you've got a plan. That's how a lot of people go broke in the first year.
But a lot of us don't do that. A lot of black businesses, they start these things up and they think, oh, it's a nice to have, oh, family are going to support me on this, let me go and start this. They don't know how to run a business. They have never run a business before.
They haven't been taught.
Well, they haven't been taught.
But their parents
and the business closes within the next year or 2 years.
I'm going to throw some sauce in there. Do you know another thing that pisses me off about black-owned business? Oh, you should give me a discount. Hey, the guy that owns Louboutin, the guy that owns Harrods or whatever, do you see them giving discount? Get out of here, bro.
But then we ask.
You pay full rates. Like everybody else is going to pay full rates. Just because you're my family doesn't mean
you have to give discount.
But that's when people deep.
You get loyal customers and keep buying.
That's when black people deep stuff because they don't want to pay.
And then that's why you call them haters.
And it's just kind of
why are you stealing from my business?
And then with all of that, it's literally a culture and a mindset that we've been living by. And so when it comes to goal setting or putting in place in plans, I mean, young people that I actually work with, like, you ask them, what do you want to do in the future? They don't even know. Especially from the black community. I'm not saying that they need to know exactly what they're doing, but
a direction, somewhere, a vision.
There's no vision, because when they're at home, it's not spoken about. You come home, you eat dinner, go to bed, do your homework. Do your homework, done. It's like there's no conversations that happen enough in households.
But we can't also blame that on the young people because we had to blame that on the parents. But the parents can't even be blamed because their parents didn't do that to them.
No, so you can't just blame the parents.
No, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't put the blame on the parents.
It's not on the young
The parents they weren't raised that way. Yeah, for the parents to ask, oh, what do you want to do in the future? So you can't expect the parent to be able to do that to their child when they've never been. Do you understand?
But then when you circle around and blame your child for not having a successful career, you can't. There are many families where your parents will be like.
It's an expectation that they have.
Right, they just expect the young person to know, or to just do, or just be. Just because you're going to school, schools don't teach people all these things like how to set up a business and all that.
I was reading something, I was watching something the other day, and they were saying the reason why schools were built back in like many years ago, it was a form of way to control people, to create the obedient, the ones that'll go to work 9 to 5. I'm not saying nothing. It's a mind training thing. So that's why I say sometimes not everyone wants to go down the educational path, because there's things that. In the rich families, that's why the rich always stay rich, because they teach their kids how to stay rich. Do you get what I mean? In like households like me growing up, and we didn't get things like say like just little things like when your child's born, putting your child on your debit card, and then so when they get to 18, their credit score's 1,000. Do you get what I mean? So every time you pay your direct debits over the years while your child's growing up, their credit score is amazing. But when we get to 18, we have no credit score because our parents haven't built us that, because they wasn't taught that, and neither was we. Do you get what I mean? And that's why because we've got so much at our hand now, as a woke generation, we should be teaching ourselves. Okay, our parents may not be teaching us this now, but we should be teaching ourselves that. Like now, obviously, I'm basically online looking at things, financial advice, all of that. I'm educating myself so I can make sure when I do have my children,
you can educate them.
I can educate them.
And that's what you need to do. This is what we need to do. I mean, now it's about increasing our value, increasing our face card. I think like a lot of what rich people do, in a sense, they assess net worth. What is net worth? They look into these type of things like net worth, understanding that everything that you own has a value of it, accumulating that value, take away your outgoings or your debts or whatever, also, and then that is your estimated net worth as to what you actually have, how much value do you actually have in a sense, and that is how that is sort of measured in a sense. But I just find what I don't really like and what saddens me in a sense is that I feel as if I just feel like there's not really much drive to actually help one another, to actually build a community with one another. We don't have much drive at all, and it's like I feel as if where we tend to look at certain industries as industries that we can't get into in a sense, or it's not for me, like having you know what I mean, like you want to be able to work in the city, but then you're second guessing yourself as to whether you're suited to be working in the city. Who told you that you're not? Why? And if someone did tell you, why are you believing that for? You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to think of the things that actually really matter in life. Actually, what industries do we actually know that life depends on? In terms of, we know that, okay, homes need to be built. Okay, where's the builders? You know, sort of thing. People don't want to do the plumbing jobs. Where's the electricians? Carpentry. These are all good jobs, trades. These are all areas as to where you can make big businesses from them. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we've allowed ourselves to become comfortable. Literally what Gabby said in the idea that we live in this hyper woke generation whereby we want to see what everyone else is doing. We're caught up in everything else that's going on around us, and we turn up late to the show, and we just like, oh, all right, we have to get things done now. And it's just kind of like
in a race.
We've allowed the media and societal constructs to play a huge narrative into our day-to-day. We're more bothered about what's happening to Tom and Harry as opposed to what's happening in our own community, in our own lives, and what's going on. Like, everybody was sat down glued 9 p.m. watching Harry and Meghan's interview about what's going on in their family.
I deleted social media. No, this is why I deleted social media. Yeah, it's toxic. It's actually toxic.
So toxic.
It makes you feel like
you're
the slug in the race. You get it? Like you literally feel like
I always get that all the time, when like people were like to me, oh, do you not hear about this? Do you not hear about that? I'm like, no. Like, I feel like my screen time's gone up, but I'm not even looking at my phone. Do you understand? So it's like I'm either scrolling through Safari, trying to educate myself in some sort of way, in my own way, because I don't like reading, but so I'll try and educate myself through
I listen to podcasts and audio
so
books,
it's like I put my Snapchat notifications on mute so I don't hear my phone, because before, when I hear ding ding, I'm on my phone immediately. Like, before they even sent the message, I'm on the message when they're typing. That's how I was before, like scrolling through Instagram and all of these things. And I put all these. Do you get me? 2-3 hours. I'm spending like 9 to 10 hours on Instagram and Snapchat. Like
a day?
I'm on Snapchat.
That's a problem.
In the past, I was
doing fire. You've got good eyesight as well.
In the past, I'm literally spending up to like 10 hours on Snapchat, and literally Snap is on my screen time. Snap is literally the highest.
That should be the caption. I spend 10 hours on Snapchat.
No, but after I kind of realised I'm spending so much time on things that are really relevant and to understand, and I've spent more time trying to get my business together and get myself together other than minding other people's business instead of minding mine. I need to mind myself, and that's what people don't do. They don't mind their own business before they go and mind other people's. You understand? Their nose is always in someone's business instead of being in your own. Do you understand? When your house is basically crumbling, but you're watching someone else's house crumble and not trying to fix your house, and that person's house that's crumbling, they're trying to fix it, but you're putting them down. Do you understand?
Do you know what I saw on Twitter? Someone that I follow, they were like seven keys to maintaining a relationship. 1 to 7. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. And it's so true, because when we're caught up in other people's situations, we don't don't even see what's going on around us. One thing that I've learned to do a lot more now is to listen and analyze what isn't being said. Like, you know, when people go, I'm not going to watch the news. Actually, we should be watching the news to see what isn't being told to us. We're just following what everyone says. We're not thinking for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we've allowed ourselves to live in this sort of bubble.
But do you also think that part of that could be as well of what we tell people within our own people, within our group and community in a sense? Because I also look at it from a perspective of the level of respect that the black man has for the black woman and the black woman has for the black man, in a sense. And I'm thinking to myself that, do we really respect one another in a sense where we can accept the fact that one may go down a route that we may not particularly be happy with or see fulfilling for them, in a sense, and the way we also talk to the person, encourage them and stuff like that is just completely negative in a sense. I think we also need to have respect for each other, which I don't think there's a lot of respect for between black women and black men at all. We're always quick to bashing. Well, like you find black women bashing black men all the time. You do find
but then there's black men that don't date black women.
Alright, you find that too. You do find that too, which can also cause massive problems. It causes problems within our community, in a sense, because then stuff like that, the way it tends to end with one of them either dating out, going somewhere else, then
because they're living on the stereotype. It's because they're living on that stereotype. Gabby was like, if a guy says I don't date black girls, and you ask them why, because they're angry black girls, or they're rowdy, or they're lazy, or they're too loud, or they're too loud, or they're too, all these things. So I'm gonna go outside my race to go and date.
But to be honest, the other girls in other races, they're exactly the same because they want to be us. Do you understand?
Yeah, but I want to date black boys. I want to mix race baby.
That is honestly one of the weirdest things.
So wait, do you think black people should only date within their own community?
No, I think like you.
I'm saying silent.
No, because I'm biracial.
When it comes to dating, we should be able to date whoever
whatever your preference is. I'm a black white man.
Yeah,
but I just feel like from when you say I don't date black girls because they're too loud, they're too rowdy, all of that.
Or girls that say I don't date black men
because they're aggressive or whatever. But technically, you actually haven't gotten to know them. You haven't gotten to know them for you to know who the real them is. For example, I'm a very loud and outgoing person, but if you actually got to know me, I'm very quiet inside. Do you understand? So it's like, get to know the person, because you say you can't judge a book by its cover. So me being loud on the outside and being outgoing, you don't know what's happening in my book for you to be able to judge me because my book cover is loud. Do you understand?
That's true. So then that also begs the question, do we really know each other as black men and black women? Do we actually know each other?
No,
we're quick to judge. I feel like they're very judgmental in the church community as well.
Well, girl.
In church.
That's
a whole nother.
If you go to a white church and then I start going to a Catholic white church, no one's in anyone's business. You just go take your Holy Communion, take the wine, boom, you leave. Do you get it? You go in at 10 o'clock, you come out at 11.
That's a
black church, you go in at 10 a.m, you come in at 6 p.m. And you come in at 4 though, I'm not gonna lie. But
no, but you know the funniest thing. But you know the funniest thing is I was actually having a conversation with Queen yesterday, and I was like, with the church community, they're very judgmental.
I kind of get the gist of what we're saying here in terms of going to church. I mean, I know that's kind of outside the conversation, but going to church should be because you're going to church. But why is it that, especially in black churches, that we feel the need to be in everyone's business because we have the solutions?
See what you do.
No, but this is what I was gonna say. With like predominantly white churches or white people that go to church, they don't have as much problems. They do have their own problems, but they don't have as much problems as a black church might do. Do you understand? They're going to church, they're being positive, they're praising God. But you see with the black churches, they're telling you, oh, the devil's going to come and meet your house today. Bringing some sort of fear in them and all the negativity in them, which makes them fail. Especially in times of where they're going through a lot and they're expecting God to help them and stuff like that. And all you're saying is, oh, God can't answer you right now and stuff like that. You're bringing some sort of negativity around them.
Then are they really Christians? Those may not be.
But at the same time,
get all these problems only in black churches.
Do you understand? Black people in black
Mm.
churches, they worship their pastor. They don't worship
the God.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
They worship the pastor.
Yeah.
They don't worship God. Do you understand? So it's the pastor comes first, then God comes after. That is generally how it is. But in a predominantly white church, they are going there to worship God. They're going in church, praying, singing, thanking God for life, to be able to see another day, and they're leaving. They're not going there for the pastor. But black churches, they're going there to go see the pastor.
But I think it's kind of also saying, and permit me to say this, it's almost as if, like, we aspire to be the followers and not the leaders.
Yeah.
And it's like, as in leaders within our own lives. Because if you're a leader of your own life, you know your purpose for going to church. You're not going there for someone else, whether it's the pastor or not, because he's going to lay hands on you and everything's going to be alright.
Yeah.
No, you're going there because you know what you're going to get
Your
from
connection.
church. But also a leader within your own life, because where your education, your finances, your relationships are concerned, you're making priority for them in their regards, and you're not involving other people in your business or putting your business out there for people to see and have accountability of it, like, involuntarily. And I think we need to start having that level of consciousness amongst ourselves and within our communities, because that's the only way we're going to progress, as opposed to going the other way.
Yeah.
I just feel like church is just a fashion show, man.
Yeah.
Church is genuinely a fashion show.
But then,
or black churches too.
So then on that, then what would you say?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what would you say from your own perspective? Like, what would you say are things that that we do need to do in order to really help the black community actually build the black community so that it stands strong?
Mind your business.
I feel like it starts with the younger generation. I feel like and us, because now if you see, all of us were all woke, do you understand? So if we're able to help the younger generation, and be able to show them that, okay, cool, you might be growing up with a mother that isn't really as woke, but being that support.
Can I just say, I'm not woke. I just want to put that out there.
No, but
I'm just informed.
Okay, informed, and what's the other word? Yeah, just, do you understand? Yeah. And some young people's parents, they don't know. Do you understand? So in a black church community or in a church community, we need to be there as a support for the children, because at the end of the day, like everyone says, it's going to be the young people that's going to lead the future. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When we are gone, they're going to be leading the future. So we need to make sure that we make them know all we know. We need to give all everything we know. We need to give it to these young people, because they're going to lead the future when we're gone. Do you understand?
Yeah, I completely agree. In such a powerful way to round up today's conversation. Of us, like, what would be one thing that you would advise the younger generation from our community, that's the black community, in terms of just for the future or in their day-to-day living? Like, what is a piece of advice that you'd give them?
There's a lot. For myself, if I was to say something, I would really try and just point a new direction, just portray something new that people haven't seen, in a sense. I mean, a lot of what we see, depending on where you've grown up, a lot of us have seen that there's a portrayal that the way to make it in life is either if you are you're a trapper, you're doing drill music or whatever, your hair and stuff like that. But like, I think there's other things that we can be showing as leading by an example to young people that you can actually get here. Like for instance, if you want to sort of like invest in property or something like that, so that you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is how you can be able to do it. There are people who are property investors within the black community who have done very well and are hosting seminars and stuff like that. There's a few people in there. I think those are some of the things that I'll do. Just let young people know that there is an option out. There are a lot of young people who are caught up in violence and gang life and stuff like that. And for those individuals, a lot of them are only in that type of situation because they're looking for a way out. A lot of them are in those situations. They want to actually be legitimate. They want to have some legitimate business. They want to actually have a job. But a lot of them, because they say the system hasn't been kind to them, they've resulted in certain avenues that have caused them to be in a bad situation that they are in today. And that just so happens to be the sort of environment that you see coming through our music, being glorified by other young people. We will be in the club listening to that music, saying yeah, it's cool. It comes through the way we dress, that all filters through. Because all of that is a representation of yourself, and how you dress, that shows to the world what type of person you also are as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think by showing people different avenues as to what you can do, I definitely think that we can help younger people, younger generation, and we can actually help build a community and bring people together.
100%. Powerful. Who can follow that?
Yeah.
I would say to my younger siblings, younger generation and cousins that are younger than me, I would speak from a business owner's perspective, as in, I would say as a black business owner, don't ever feel like you can't do it. Like, if you want to create a business, do it. Whether the first year, whether the first 2 years doesn't go too well for you, as long as you have a vision and you have a plan and you know what you want to do and where you expect your business to be in the next 5 years, stick with it. Whether you've lost money through the business or whether you're gaining and losing, as long as you stay positive, because like I said, everything comes as a roller coaster. 1 minute it's up, 1 minute it's down, 1 minute it's up, 1 minute it's down, and then there'll be a point where it's going to be completely up. So just continue having faith in yourself and don't expect the people around you to help you, because not everyone's gonna help you. Don't expect things from other people. If you want things to get done, you have to do it yourself. That's what I would like to say.
Just don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. Don't doubt yourself. Just because someone says you can't do it, trust me, you can do it.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
I 100% agree with all your points, and I agree with everybody. So, on that note, I just want to say a huge thank you to both of you for coming on to our sofa today. Because there's no table, we got rid of the table. And I really enjoyed today's conversation. I hope you guys can agree to that, and to many more. And so on that note, thank you so much for tuning in today and watching till the very end. It was very, very interesting conversation, and if you have any comments, do drop it down below. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have anything to reflect on that from what you've heard today? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. We are Breaking the Silence UK, and we will drop all the information about everyone on this panel today in the comment section down below, and any information that is relevant to you. But thank you so much, and for all those who've already subscribed and are already supporting, we appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you next week for another amazing topic. Stay safe.
Bye.
I know that's right.